initially, and my presentation for research skills and management decision is the contradiction between ethics and profit maximization. For this, my group members are Talaha Ali, Zain Amir, Muhammad Sharif, and Akil Arshad. So I will represent my part. So for the main theme for our presentation is to explain the controversy or the contradiction between the ethical values and the profit pursuits of a company. For this purpose, we have taken the example of Tesco. Tesco is a big market in UK, which share 27.1% of the companies of the total suppliers. So for this, we have taken the example of Tesco, and it is that like when Tesco started doing compromise on its ethical value over the suppliers or the employers, the share or the market value of the Tesco has been decreased significantly. For this purpose, Tesco has increased its ethics values from 2014 to 2023, and it can be seen that the all of the things, the CSR budget, the YouGov or customer trust score, and everything from the profit margin has been increased. So this is happened when the ethical values are given priority to the profit pursuits. In the next slides, I have the example as I have mentioned before that the Tesco is the one of the biggest grocery supplier in the UK. So as we have the figure, we have the graph from which there can be seen clearly from in 2014 when a scandal has been caused for the Tesco for its ethical values, the market value and the share have been decreased from a significant value onward. For this purpose, Tesco has increased its ethical value to increase its market and share value. Next slide will be represented my group member.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm going to represent my slides problem statement and research questions. The problem statement in this area we're going to read retail sector like Tesco often experiences ongoing tensions between ethical responsibilities and profit pressure in an industry. Cost reduction, shareholder expectations, and scale efficiencies dominate decision making. Considerations can be difficult. This research investigate Tesco business model realistically accommodates both aims without contradiction. And the other second one is relevance and context. Modern consumer increasingly expect transparency, fairness, and environmental responsibility. Simultaneously, investors seek aggressive growth and margin protection. Tesco suppliers base accounting scandals and its public efforts at CSR reform present a valuable case for examining. And the third one is research questions. Research questions: can ethics coexist with profit in a publicly listed retailer like Tesco? And what are the impacts of ethical lapse on Tesco brand and financial performance? And the other slide is critical literature review. There are three main theories. The first one is Friedman theories argues that the sole responsibility of a business to increase profit for shareholders. Ethical practices are seen as industry distraction unless they directly contribute to profitability. The second is Feynman's stakeholders theory emphasizes the importance of creating value for all stakeholders, companies, employees, suppliers, and society. Ethical considerations are essential for long-term viability and competitive advantage. The third one is Porter and Kramer introduce the concept of creating shared value, which suggests that ethical practices such as reducing environmental impact or improving supplier welfare can simultaneously unlock new markets or reduce corporate risks. The third one is Tesco specific studies. Research shows mixed perspective. Critics Tesco CSR or creative brand management following reputational damage. In contrast, viewing as a drive of long-term investor and customer confidence. The fifth one is the industry benchmarking. Tesco ethical food waste by 45% since 2016. Contracts with editors like Sainsbury and leaders showing leadership in a post-crisis ethically strategy. Conclusion: the literature reflects a transition from rigid profit-first thinking to integrate ethical capitalism. Thank you. The next slide will be represented by other colleague.
Sorry, good morning. Before we dive into our findings, let's briefly walk through the robust methodology that underpinned our research. This study employed a comprehensive secondary data approach with meticulously sourced information from Tesco's annual and ESG reports spanning 2014 to 2023, along with academic journals from platforms like EBSCO and JSTOR, Statista, YouGov, and regulatory documents such as those from the UK Corporate Governance Council. Our key search terms included Tesco CSR, Tesco ethical strategy, and profit versus responsibility in retail. Ensuring the credibility of our resources was paramount. We focused on peer-reviewed research and official reports from the past decade. Reliability was assured through thorough checks on our author expertise, institutional banking, and the direct relevance of the data at Tesco's ethical controversies and their recovery. For our analysis, we utilized two primary frameworks. First, a pastel analysis that helped us access how external forces like post-Brexit economies shift, ESG regulation, and consumer demand for transparency shape Tesco strategic decisions. Secondly, Peter Drucker's theory on corporate responsibility was central. Drucker argued that profit is a test of performance, not its purpose, a concept that beautifully supports the idea that ethical action can coexist with financial success. The scope of our data was intentionally aligned to closely examine Tesco's reputation, recovery, CSR investment, and profit performance. This provided us with well-grounded basis to explore intricate ethics profit balance with the retail sector. Now, for long, let's move to the results. The data we gathered reveals a significant transformation in Tesco's ethical and financial trajectory between 2014 and 2023. Looking at Table 1, Tesco's ethical and financial performance, we can see compelling trends. Tesco's CSR budget more than doubled, showing increased investment in responsibility. Simultaneously, their net profit margin grew, ethical scandals declined, and customer trust improved. This powerfully validates Drucker's idea that ethical commitment can drive, can drive strong financial performance. Figure 3, our pastel analysis illustrates how macro environmental factors such as economic shifts and political changes have significantly influenced Tesco's strategic and ethical decisions, shaping this transformation. And finally, Figure 2 demonstrates this alignment, showing how Tesco's increased investment in corporate social responsibility directly correlates with positive shifts in profit margin. This underscores how strategic ethical decisions can profoundly impact the company's financial success. The next slide will be presented by my group member. Thank you.
Hello, good morning to all. I'm Mohammed Shanif Anikira. Let's present here discussion of results of finding basis of case study of Tesco. It's three strategy like DSRS strategic tool, then initial contradictions and ethical breaches, then third one recovery through ethics and transparency. Then first one is how discuss about Tesco demonstrate that while ethics and profit may initially seems contradictory, their alignment become possible when embedded into strategic long-term business planning. The company's information and its major ethical hopeless illustrates how reputational changes can be reversed through genuine reform and stakeholders focused value creation. Then CSR and strategic tool discuss about Tesco has responsibility corporate social responsibility, not as an add-on but a competitive strategy. Initiatives such as the community food connections, which donated over 100 million meals by 2023, and commitment to net zero carbon emissions by 2035 have significantly improved its brand reputation. Moreover, Tesco investment in fair trade certified products, especially in its coffee and tea lines, addresses growing consumer demand for ethical sourcing, which now influence over 63% of UK grocery purchasing and decisions. And second one, initial contradictions and ethical breaches, tells about the 2040 accounting scandal in which Tesco overrated profits by pound 263 million, led to pound 2 billion drop in shareholder value within days. And the crisis exposed to risk of plotting short-term profit over transparency, resulting in regulatory investigation, leadership changes, and insufficient change to stakeholder trust. Then the third one is recovery through ethics and transparency. Following these setbacks, Tesco embraced on a recovery strategy enhanced in ethical reform. The company enhanced the supplier relationships under the GSP guidelines, introduced transparency dashboards for ESG performance, and publicly committed to zero food waste. These reforms helped it lift Tesco's consumer trust score from 58% in 2014 to 71% in 2023. Simultaneously, net profit margins increased from 2.5% to 4.7%, suggesting that the ethical practicing can support net higher profit growth. Then I am give the next member in our group. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Zainamit. As part of our research on business ethics, I focus on practical way Tesco can strengthen its ethical approach. We develop five key recommendations. First one is tie executive bonuses to ethical goals like reducing carbon emission, improving supplier compliance, and investing in CSR. This make leaders accountable and aligns ethics with performance. The second one is introduce independent audit across Tesco supply chain, especially in low regulation areas. These third parties check will help ensure fair wages, safe working conditions, and environmental standards. The third one is improve supply contract to stop unfair practices. Contracts should include clear terms for pricing, payments, and dispute resolution, and these should be publicly reported. The fourth one includes ethics training in all staff development using real world case studies to help employees understand and apply ethical decision making in their everyday work. The fifth one is set up stakeholder ethic panel with NGOs, community members, and customers. These panels will review Tesco ethical effort and suggest improvement, ensuring the company stays accountable to the public. The conclusion in this project also taught us something bigger. Ethics and profits can work together. Tesco's journey showed that while ethical failure like the 2014 accounting scandal can damage a company, responsible action can rebuild trust, improve performance, and strengthen brand image. The key lesson in that ethics are not a cost, they are an investment in long term success, following Porter and Kramer's shared value theory. Tesco showed that putting ethics at the heart of business strategy leads to a lasting competitive advantages. Thank you.